Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is I, Matthew, aka SnacksXXV, and we are here with another video. This is video number 13, and as always, I am super excited to be here with you. Today, we are talking about E3, of course. E3 is going on this entire week, and I want to discuss with you everything that we've seen at Microsoft's presentation. And I'll start off by saying, Microsoft's presentation was very well done. It is going to be very difficult to beat that presentation. There was a lot of things within Microsoft's presentation that were really cool to see. Really amazing things. A few things I was not expecting, and I want to discuss them all with you. Now, the most exciting thing for me was when we seen the Coalition come up on the stage, and we saw Rod Ferguson walk up there. And he discussed and announced the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is going to be running in 1080p 60 frames per second on the Xbox One, a remaster of Gears of War 1 with multiplayer. Now, that was pretty awesome, but what I wasn't really expecting was him to also announce Gears of War 4 on the same stage in that same moment. That was awesome for me. Now, the trailer that they showed for Gears of War 4 to me looked a little bit survival horror-ish. It seemed as if it was very dark, and it seemed like they were just kind of tracking and hunting one monster. When in normal Gears of War, you know, you're facing floods and floods of the locust, and they keep coming at you. Well, this one, it seemed like they were kind of tracking this one monster in this very dark environment. I don't know if they're going in a different direction with the game, but it did seem a little survival horror to me. But we'll see more soon. The game is scheduled to be released holiday 2016. So we've got about a year and a half waiting on that one. I'm hoping to see a lot more. Now, Halo 5 Guardians was also there, and they did finally show me some story gameplay. And they showed it from Locke's perspective, and it was almost like a squad-based gameplay. It looks like in the trailer that they were looking for Master Chief. And as we've talked about before, Master Chief and Locke don't really seem to be on the same page. So I was excited to see some story gameplay. It looks like Halo, but it also looks pretty cool. I love Halo games, so I'm really excited to see more from that. They also showed off a new multiplayer mode called Warzone, which looks pretty interesting as well. So that was awesome to see on the stage as well. Now, another game that they showed was Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a timed Xbox exclusive. And they showed gameplay from it, and I just wasn't blown away. Everything that happened in the trailer that they showed was very predictable. It reminded me a lot of the previous Tomb Raider game. It seems like every time Lara Croft is on a stable piece of ground, it starts to disintegrate and destroy beneath her feet, and she has to run and make it to safe ground. And that's what that whole trailer was to me. However, at the end of the trailer, you did see her actually in some kind of temple, which is the gameplay that I'm more looking for rather than the jumping, climbing, running from destroying environments. So it was nice to see the Tomb Raider trailer, but it was very predictable to me, and I was hoping to see a little bit more. Next, Rare announced what's called Rare Replay, which is a collection of about 30 rare games that are going to be re-released on Xbox One at a very low price. And it's going to feature games like Banjo-Kazooie, Viva Pinata, my personal favorite, Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is a very collectible game. If you go on eBay to try to find that game alone, you might pay $70 to $80 just for Conker's Bad Fur Day on the Nintendo 64. But they're going to release it in a part of a collection for about $30 for the Xbox One. Looks really cool for all those people who like rare games. I'll buy it just for Viva Pinata. Absolutely. After that, Microsoft showed off its virtual reality device, the Hololens. Now, I hadn't heard Microsoft talk about virtual reality before this, but they showed a Minecraft gameplay using the HoloLens. You were able to kind of look into the things that you were building and get deeper inside of them using the virtual reality headset. Now, I'm not sure how something like that's going to incorporate into my life as a gamer, into my home. How is a virtual reality headset going to work for me? Is it something that I want in my home? I don't really know. It's going to be another situation like that where we have a virtual reality headset and it's not really being utilized. Also, Microsoft didn't say a single word about the Kinect that was originally included with the Xbox and prepared to be a big part of the Xbox's life. We're not really seeing that. So I'm a little bit nervous about the HoloLens, needless to say. There were also a big presence of indie games at Microsoft's presentation, and one game stood out to me, and that's the only one I'm going to talk about, was a game called Cuphead. Now, Cuphead looks like a 1930s cartoon, kind of mashed together with a frenetic 16-bit platformer. It looks like a rage-inducing platformer, and it looks really, really fun. I've never seen a game with a visual style like Cuphead before, so it's really exciting to see something like that. If you haven't seen the trailer, definitely look up the trailer and get a look at Cuphead. It looks really, really cool. Now, the one thing that Microsoft announced that was completely out of left field for me and I was not expecting was its $150 Elite controller. Now, this Elite controller looks super nice. Now, it's got different sticks on the controller that you can adjust. It's got paddles in the back for button mapping. You can also, using an application, you can put different buttons kind of where you want. The triggers are also hairpin sensitive, much more sensitive, much more precision on this controller. Now, is it worth the entry price of $150? For me, I don't know. I've got a ton of Xbox One controllers here at the house, and I've never had a problem or complained about their precision. So I don't know if that's something for everybody, but it definitely looks like a really cool controller. It looks very well built. Shortly after Microsoft's presentation, they released a video called The New Xbox One Experience. And it showed a completely redesigned user interface for the Xbox One system, focused on speed and the use of Cortana. Now, Cortana is, of course, their UI assistant who can kind of help you navigate through different areas within Xbox One. So if you have a friend that's online, I could say, hey, invite Billy to my party, and it'll send an invite to Bill. And I'm not sure if that's using a headset or actually using the Kinect. Not really sure what that's using to do that, but it showed a completely redesigned interface. It's taking away those live tiles that we've seen, those square tiles that are all over the Xbox One interface. A lot of those are going to be gone. And we're going to see a nice, more fluid interface on the Xbox One that's using a lot of voice to navigate around. I will also post a video of that new Xbox interface below. Be sure to check that out. One other thing that they showed at their conference was a great trailer for Fable Legends. I love the Fable series, minus Fable 3. I love the Fable series, and Fable Legends looks really cool. A really great multiplayer game. They showed a really cool trailer of that. I was very excited to see. The main thing that blew a lot of people away at Microsoft's presentation was one announcement for the backwards compatibility feature coming to the Xbox One very soon. Which means you can take your old Xbox 360 games that you maybe haven't completed or haven't been able to play in a little while, you can put them into your Xbox One and play them. Now, this isn't traditional playing of the game. What the Xbox One will do is it's going to download a compatible version of the game that's playable on your Xbox One with your Xbox One controller, which is really, really cool. And also, any digital games that you may have bought on your Xbox 360 will soon be playable on your Xbox One. You'll start to see them in your Xbox One library. Now, they mentioned that about 100 games are available right now, and they're going to be adding games very, very quickly. So we're going to be seeing a lot of games start to show up in our library that we may have purchased on our Xbox 360. And this is not just for Xbox 360 disc-based games. This is also for any games that we may have downloaded from the Xbox Live Arcade as well on our Xbox 360 consoles. So that blew me away as well. But I will say this, that should have been a feature that was in the Xbox One from day one if it's that easy to make it happen. You guys should have done that from day one and definitely had that feature in the Xbox One console, not 2 years later. I'm grateful for it now, but you should have done it from day one, is my only thought on that. So that was Microsoft's presentation. It was really, really cool to see. I enjoyed every moment of it. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, I would honestly give it like a 4.5. There was a little bit of opportunity in there for maybe one more game that kind of blew me away, or maybe a better Tomb Raider trailer. But nonetheless, it was a very, very solid presentation. I would say one of Microsoft's best presentations in years. Now, Sony's got a lot to fight up against now, and I definitely want to see what they bring to the table. So I will be making a video as soon as Sony's presentation is done. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share it with the homies. Love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much. You have an awesome day.